Hello and once again, audience. My name is Victor.
And I am the Steve, and you, specifically you, the one at the back, gloriously imaginary.
Yes, and welcome to our very first official Humble Potato Podcast. Woo!
Yay! This was unscripted, unplanned, and here we go.
Yes, so it's a Friday, and we've been waiting a long time just for it to be just me and Steve. And no one else. So we can record in somewhere where it's not like the wind and other people and birds and nature interrupting us.
And motorbikes.
And motorbikes, especially motorbikes.
There's a vendetta. Motorbikes have a vendetta against us. Every phone call, it's just random motorbike. It could be the quietest road known to man, and there will be a motorbike.
Exactly. And I was walking here from my appointment, and I was crossing the road, and a motorbike drove past me and was honking its horn, and I was like, dude.
Motorbikes have horns? I guess.
And it makes sense for them to have horns.
Yeah. I just never clicked.
Well, they had something to get my attention. Yeah. But yeah.
I've learned something new today. I know nothing about motorbikes, so...
Oh, that was the derps I was going to tell you about.
Okay.
So...
You're doing a pre-question?
Well,
you might as well.
It kind of reminded me of my derp.
Yeah.
So I went to Portsmouth View on the Tuesday when me and such and such were going to go to the cinema, but then we changed it to Wednesday. So I was like, you know what, I'll go to the cinema and I'll watch something. And the film I watched was garbage, but I was like, hi, can I... Oh, actually, my first out of 2 derps.
Oh, a double derp.
A double derp.
We're treating you well today.
What a way to start the series. But basically, I went to the View Cinema, I booked some tickets, and usually, View are like 10 o'clock in the evening, it's 22 o'clock, right? Yeah. If it's in the morning, it's 10. And so I was like, okay, I'll buy tickets. I got to the line, looked at my phone, was like, yep, got the tickets up ready. And then I looked at I just happened to look at the show times on the screen, and it said the film that I wanted to see at 22 o'clock. And I was like, what? And so I looked at my ticket and was like, it says 10 o'clock here, p.m. I was like,
Oh no.
So I was like, okay, so I went to see my film. As I was waiting for as I went to collect my overpriced hot dog and and then asked for my Oasis, they were like, oh, it's in the freezer. I was like, oh, okay. I saw the freezer behind the counter on the other side of the counter staff collection counter bit, whatever. There was just alcohol. I was like, I don't know where the Oasis is. And he was like, oh, the fridge is over there. And he pointed, and there is a fridge on the other side of the cinema that anyone can access that's in front of the counter. And I was like, I am so sorry. And he was like, oh, it's cool. No, it's fine. I was like, okay. So I picked up my Oasis, went back, and I was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, no, it's cool. Wait, it's not cool.
We're painfully English.
We are.
Question.
Yes.
How are we introducing ourselves? We're doing this we should have done this preemptively before recording, but we're doing it while recording because we're professional.
Right, so I'm Victor. I also go by the name of Sensei for some reason.
Oh, that's a good story to go with, actually.
And this is...
And Steve.
And he is also known as...
Steve.
He's also known as Senpai.
Not self-aware just yet. But yeah, I do we tell the story, or do you want to say the story of how you became Sensei?
I don't know how I became Sensei.
Okay, so we played We played video games together.
We do.
And one of the video games we played together was Minecraft Dungeons.
Yes.
And
Good
in
times.
typical Sensei fashion, he had better luck than I did. I would get,
Oh, yeah,
I would
yeah.
get, for example, I would get Ocelot armor. For people who don't know, it's just common, bog standard armor. Sensei comes along and he gets Black Ocelot armor, which is epic tier, which I think is the highest tier armor you can get.
Hi.
And we get it roughly the same time from the same loot drop.
Oh, when I was rolling Sensei, wasn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. And so the Black Ocelot armor gives you, I believe, invulnerability while rolling. And so he became Rolling Sensei because he had the better version of my armor, and it made him look like the sensei of the group.
Yes, and when I roll, I set things on fire. So.
Yeah, he also had the enchantment. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's a trail of fire every time you roll. So he's like an invulnerable ball of fire.
Yeah.
Just rolling around, just burning everything.
Yeah, and so it just I think developed from calling me that on Minecraft to just calling that.
And then we dropped the rolling part and it just became Sensei.
Yeah. Occasionally I try to call him Sensei, and he's let me a few times, but he's just like, "You're Sensei." Around like birthdays and Christmas, he'll be like, "You can call me Sensei for a week or a month, the rest of the month," and I'll go ham. I'll be like, Sensei. But yeah.
Yeah.
But I figured if I'm gonna be called Sensei, I'm just gonna call you Senpai.
As a loophole.
Yes.
We also have like origins for like our nicknames as well, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like how I became, was it Spectre Steve?
Spectre Steve.
And you became Victor von Wilson?
Wilson, yeah.
Yeah.
That Spectre Steve came from Lego Marvel, wasn't it?
So this actually came from college.
Oh.
So we gave each other an assignment to look up hero or villain characters.
Yeah.
Beginning with the names, either Steve or Victor.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And this is how I discovered Moon Knight. So I was looking up Steve, and it was, well, you know, the typical Captain America, but he's Steven. Doctor Strange, but he's Stefan.
Stephen,
but yeah, they both got the nickname Steve, and that was Steve Grant. See, okay, who is this Steve Grant? And it's an alias for Moon Knight.
Yeah.
So loophole, and his actual name is Mark Spector. So I was like, okay, I will be Spectre Steve. Meanwhile, this guy over here.
Hello.
He found quite a few interesting characters.
Yeah, I found Doctor Doom, and I thought I like him. I've always been a fan of him, but I've also always been a fan of Deadpool when he's done right. Deadpool when he's not played by when he's done right.
Yeah, when he's done right.
So I was like, Victor Wilson, he'll have the genius of Doctor Doom and the evilness, I guess, or the like pompousness. But he'll have the wisecracking of Deadpool when done right. But I think that character exists anyway.
I don't know. It's just the Amicam universe, which is like two characters from Marvel and DC pushed together.
Yeah, I think it was more of like a gag kind of version of Deadpool with he's combined with Doctor Doom or I don't know, but
I know there's been a lot of fusion universes.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, yeah, so that's at one point you were Victor Honeybagger.
I was Victor Honeybagger.
That's funny. You discovered the magic, which is the honey badger,
yes.
And you wanted to change your username to
Honey Badger.
Victor von Honey Badger, but it was too long, so we had to get rid of the von. So you says Victor Honey Badger, but you forgot the letter.
I forgot the D, and I was like Honey Badger. And you know what? I don't regret it.
It was great.
And I am Honey Badger.
No, you were like, it was your French free for a while.
But I've got to say, I think the Minecraft era that we have yet to revive, but one day we will.
The Renaissance, yeah.
That was some of the greatest times. We had like honey baguette. We had a random weird bases. Like we had a forest on top of a tree.
Trees on top of trees.
Yeah, treetops on top of trees. We had like the gold standard of bases where you had this beautiful like base designed by Steve, and then you had like in one direction you had like the desert biome, then you had the grass biome, you had water.
There's 4 biomes surrounding this mountain.
We had cookie towers, and we had a little fun with pigmen and other users.
So basically, pigmen are these mobs that if you anger them, they will anger any surrounding allies nearby, and they'll all try and unalive you all at once.
Yeah.
So we would hit one, lure them into a giant pit, but this pit is located where everyone will spawn in the nether. So you can see where this is going, but we would anger them. There'd be a huge pile of angry pigmen. And other users would log in, and then they'll go into the nether to be immediately unallowed for the swarm of angry pigmen that are chasing after us.
We are not good people.
We are not good people. Oh, good time. But yeah, we've, I guess, I'm not sure how much we're going to divulge, but we actually met in college.
Yeah, we did. We met in my second year and in your first year.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just casually minding my own business, waiting outside of IT. A loner as always, like la 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 la.
You did the front of the queue.
I know, but I was still on my own. And then this guy just casually came up to me and was like, "I think I know you from somewhere." And I was like, "You look somewhat familiar. Please leave me alone."
Pretty much, yeah.
And but yeah, and then we were like, "Oh, what church did you go to or something?" And I was like, "Thornhill, please leave me alone." I didn't actually say that or think that. I was kind of like, "Oh, this person is right in front of me," and he is talking to me. And then we were like, "Oh, I went to Thornhill," and he's like, "Oh, I went to Thornhill," and then somehow, from there, we talked about Egyptian booby traps and
security systems, and then traps.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, we're both incredibly anxious people.
Yes.
I was also one of the first people there. I think, if not one of the first person to get to the IT thing, and this is my first year in college. I don't know what's going on. I think the teacher was late.
Yes, she was. Yeah.
We won't divulge names here, but
Steph.
Okay, we will divulge names here. Professional podcasters. So we're waiting for Steph. I think she was being late before.
Yeah, she was. No.
But this was our very first lesson. So I went before another time. Well, I was like, I don't know, I'm very prone to tangents. But I remember one time we're waiting for Steph, and there's a rule: if you wait 15 minutes, you can just leave.
Yeah.
She was late by 14 minutes.
Yeah.
People were counting that, saying, "Oh, one more minute," and then she walked through the door, and it was like, "Oh,
come on."
But anyway, back to the previous story. She was late, as we discovered as usual, and I didn't know where to wait. So there's this stairwell bit, so I was just kind of lingering there, and then people started forming a queue. And then I felt very self-conscious, going, do I join the queue? Do I just stay where I am? And I decided to stay where I am because I didn't want to walk towards people. And then this guy shows up, and my brother's like, this guy, he looks familiar. And at the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, where the heck is the IT teacher? This is incredibly awkward. I want to leave. And then time goes by, Still no IT teacher. So this is horrible. The queue is getting longer and longer, and I'm getting more and more. I don't want to join the queue. I want to be one of the first ones in, so I can pick a good seat.
He was a rebel back then.
So I did not join the queue. And then this guy he's near the front of the queue. He's like the third person in the queue. Oh, you were in the top three, I think. I can't remember where you were standing exactly.
I was close to the door.
You were close to the door. So if I join this guy, then I will be near the beginning, and people just assume. So I start talking to him, and I think I was like, my brain just goes, say something, anything. Do I know you? And then I wanted this card in the ball and disappear. This is awkward and embarrassing. What? Stop talking, Steve. Stop talking.
But yeah, and then he just kind of sat next to me. I think, was it like you wanted to sit in the corner?
I like sitting in the back.
Yeah.
Or the front. So I like sitting at the front so I see what's happening. I can see the ball.
Mm.
But the front, because how this was set up, it was like a U shape.
Yeah.
Like a square U shape.
Half a square.
3/4 of a square. Basically lining the entire room.
Yeah.
Was seats part of the front wall.
Mm.
And those were filled like instantly.
Yeah.
I remember there was Fake Steve on one side. I don't remember the names of the other people, but I remember Fake Steve.
Okay.
No,
Did you ever call him Fake Steve?
that's what we just called him when he was.
Oh, okay.
Because he was Steven. So, one letter Fake Steve. I don't remember anyone else in the group. I know that there was actually someone I knew from secondary school was there, but I can't remember his name.
I know that there was some because our computers were facing the wall, so we had to look over, and there was the other table in front, and there was like 3 students who were annoying or something.
Oh yeah, there's the famous trio.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the seat, the very optimal seats were taken immediately. It was like, because like the queue kind of just didn't actually go in the queue. It kind of dissolved in the most un-English fashion ever, and everyone was just piling into the room.
Swarming, yeah. Yeah.
So even though with the front, somehow it ended up near the back.
Yeah.
I was just standing there like a melon while all these seats were filling up. I didn't want to sit next to any of these people because my anxiety was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
And I noticed no one was sitting next to this guy.
Which
it was
is
at
often
the
the
back.
case.
I think you had one person sitting next to you, but there was an empty seat, and I got to sit somewhere. Otherwise, I'm going to sit next to people I
do not like or want to sit next to you.
So I quickly just sat down next to this guy.
Yay, we're paydo.
Which was incredibly awkward for the first few lessons, I think.
Yeah.
And I discovered I have the habit of my mind going blank and ignoring everything Steph was saying. No fault of her. This was just my fault. I think my brain can't take too much information without shutting down.
To be fair, were we really that interested in making a website?
Spreadsheets.
Or spreadsheets.
It was specifically Windows Excel was the entire lesson.
Is that really something that is going to get people excited though?
No, it was... She got really excited for Excel. Like, I've never seen someone so happy.
She has to, it's her job.
I don't know if she's been working there a lot too long and it's just finally got her. But, lovely teacher. I can't understand Excel to this day. It's a foreign language to me.
Yeah. But
every lesson, it will just be, what are we doing? And your same response every time. It's on the board.
It's on the board. It's on the board.
And I don't think I explained to you, but I have this problem. If I look at something and I turn around, I will instantly forget it.
Yeah, me too.
So I will look at the board, turn around to the computer, look at the board, and then I would just went, no, this is not working. So I just look at the screen next to me, and then I would have to figure out what the lesson is entirely based on your actions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which really annoyed you to no end. I don't. So do you want to say your perspective on this?
I don't remember. I think I was kind of a little annoyed. I was like, dude, look at the board. But I don't think I was like, go away or anything. It was actually nice having someone sit next to me. Kudos to whoever else sat next to me on the other side. You're a goat.
Quite literally.
Quite literally. But yeah, I was like, dude, just look at the board, please. Save yourself and me the energy of copying me and but I think occasionally I asked you like, how do you do this thing, and you're like, look at the board. I don't know if that was payback or if you remember that.
I
But
think, yeah, probably because I had no idea.
oh, okay, fair enough. See, this is how we've been getting through life together. We just improvise.
So, do you remember the quizzes we did in IT?
For which class?
On the spreadsheet one, like stuff like having these quizzes, with the cars and everything, and you have this little button.
No.
So yeah, I feel like I've been talking too much. I'm trying to get you to talk. But so there's these keypads.
Yeah.
I'll imagine like old-fashioned quiz shows, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Oh,
questions,
okay.
like these
Yeah,
buttons.
yeah.
And these questions would come up. And sometimes Steph would read out the questions, and that made me happy because I didn't have to read anything.
Woo.
And other times she didn't, and I was like, I have to read the question plus 4 options.
The audacity.
So my way of getting out of this was, so Victor, what do you think of this question? And I would press whatever he pressed, or I just glance over at his keypad, like, oh, he's pressing this. And if I couldn't see his keypad for whatever reason, I would guess. I would generally guess for every question. Wouldn't read it, blind guessing, and somehow I got average. I think that was my goal. I didn't want to be at the bottom, and I didn't want to be at the top. I didn't have to worry about being at the top because I'm not very smart. But I didn't want to be at the bottom because that person gets, hazed or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So that was my goal, to go completely under the radar. But little did I know, that's just my life. I'm always under the radar.
That's how we prefer it, under the radar.
Do you remember the tortoise turtle debate?
No. Oh, well, no. It sounds familiar, but I don't.
A lot of weird things happen in IT.
Apparently.
So I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
But there was someone in our class, and she had a pet tortoise.
Okay.
This is what the consensus of the class was. It started as the whole class debate.
Yeah.
But she believed it was a turtle. And she goes, I have a turtle that can't swim.
Mm.
So immediately everyone's like, that's a tortoise.
Yeah.
And she was describing all the things that she was doing. And the more she was describing this poor pet, the more we're going, yeah, that's definitely a tortoise.
Wait, tortoise can't swim?
This tortoise can't, apparently.
Oh, okay.
So the consensus was she's either trying to drown a tortoise, which is just barbaric.
Yes.
Or she generally has a turtle that can't swim.
Yeah.
She never explained why the turtle, if it is a turtle, why it couldn't swim. Like, she was trying, different, gradually introducing water, or...
Oh, they can't swim. They're not aquatic.
They're not aquatic. Okay, so yeah. So that's why everyone thought, either she's really bad at describing a turtle, because she was describing a tortoise.
Yeah.
Or she generally has a turtle that can't swim and she was just bad at describing it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't actually know how you take care of a pet turtle. A pet tortoise, I understand.
Mm.
A pet turtle, that is...
You need water and everything.
Yeah, like, how big a tank are we talking here?
Yeah.
Then it comes... Is it even legal to keep a pet turtle?
I think so, yeah.
That must have been a pretty small turtle, because I can't imagine, having, a pet sea turtle, for example.
Why is Cynical on the ground?
I don't know, he must have fallen over.
Speaking of looking after things. And yeah, but no, he just looks so dirty. Like, But yeah, I guess I know that every time I see a pet turtle, it's always in the back garden.
Yeah.
But I don't ever see like water or a pool or anything like that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think I drowned out a lot of things that were said to me in college because I don't remember a lot of IT, especially spreadsheet. I remember a lot of Victor, what are we doing? And a lot of it's on the board. It's on the beeping board.
I think I've talked too much. Do you have any like interesting stories from college, or just from other meetings that we've had together?
So this guy came up to me and was like, I think I know you from somewhere. um,
It doesn't have to be college. It could just be whenever, like any of our meetings, or
well,
in general.
I had someone. I hope he's doing well. Actually, in college, I think it was before I met you. I might have felt that went to hell. Before I met you,
The BS era of your life. Before Steve, if anyone
there was someone called Dean Japes who was kind of like interested in the things that we're interested in, and we were quite chilled together. Oh no, I think he was in our year because he was when we went to the army place for some reason.
That was for the third IT teachers class.
Yeah, the one that we've forgotten the name of. He and a group of others that we were sitting with were talking about anime, and one of the things was talking about Naruto. And I turned to you and went, I have no idea what they're talking about. And you turned to me and said, don't worry, I don't either. And Dean was part of that group that was talking about Naruto. But he was really chilled. And we were on a trip or somewhere, and we went to the toilet, and there was some jerk or something that said something. Me and Dean left, didn't say anything back. And then Dean is like, "Ah, I wish. Don't you just wish that something came to his head that he could have said in retaliation?" And was like, "Oh, don't you just wish you had that superpower where you just knew what to say immediately?" And that has struck a chord with me all throughout since now. So I'm like, yes. But Dean, we had my tutor at the time was called Dave, and he was really chilled. He was my film studies teacher as well, my tutor, and he was trying to get something to work, and Dean kind of like casually, helpfully tried to suggest something, and that Dave turned to him and was like, "Don't tell me how to do my job." And I was like, "Dude, first of all, he's not telling you how to do your job. He's suggesting how to do your job."
He's giving a
He's trying to be
idea.
helpful.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone asked me if I had any French in me, and so I was like, you know what? Yes, I do.
I haven't heard this story before.
It was George was in that class. Won't say surnames, but George was in that class. He was in my media studies group.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That reminds me of a story.
But yeah, and then one of the girls was like, "Peter, do you have any French in you?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" I was like, I have like 1% in me. And they were like, "Oh wow, cool." And I was like, "Yeah." We did. So I did film studies as well. I was with someone called Alicia, and we were supposed to make a trailer. We did not make a trailer. We made a short film, which isn't a trailer.
Oh no!
And I tried to tell her that we were looking at the final cut, and I was like, it kind of feels like a film. And I got nominated for an Oscar. Do you remember the Oscar things they did? No, I got it was for media studies, I think, and it was because outstanding achievement. And then I got nominated a second time And I told Alicia, I was like, oh, because she got nominated as well for something, and I was like, I bet it's for a short film, which is supposed to be a trailer. And and she was like, oh yeah, do you think so? And I was like, yeah. And then it turned out she was nominated for something completely different. And yeah, so yeah, that's kind of life. If I could go back to the version of to college now, I'd be so much more like different. But alas.
I would change one thing.
Mm.
I would not have done media studies because I actually failed that class.
Yeah.
So I wasn't supposed to do that class. There was a mix-up or something. So I said I wanted to do gaming because my secondary school we had two media studies. We had media studies of film and media studies of gaming, and they were the same name for the same, but for the two different lessons.
Yeah.
So when I went into Itchen, I saw there was film studies and media studies, which were practically the same thing in my mind. So I said, is there like a media studies but for gaming? And they said they'll look into it.
Yeah.
And they'll let me know if they can do anything. And lo and behold, I put into media studies for film.
Yeah.
And this is like A level
for film.
Is it AS level or?
Yeah, something like that.
And I don't know anything about film. So I'm thrown straight into the deep end. And then I find out there is a gaming course, but it's not like a full-on gaming course. It's computering.
Yeah.
Which was a separate lesson from IT for some reason. And one of that part of that course was gaming.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, they knew this from the introduction. They could have told me, and I would not have failed media studies. So that's one.
That's unlucky.
Yeah, I should have dropped out. I don't know why. I was very self-conscious.
Yeah.
And the thought of just dropping out. There was like a week grace period where you can just go, if this lesson isn't for you.
Yeah. Then you, yeah.
And I wish I just left. I honestly, I wish I just left.
Yeah.
But we also had the same thing of making a trailer. But halfway through making it, the person I was working with left. He didn't just leave the project, he left the class.
Yeah.
And he was the only one who knew how to work everything. Because he was, out of the two of us, he was actually the media studies expert.
Yeah.
So obviously the trailer was a disaster, complete and utter disaster. Because I didn't get to film all the scenes. I obviously no idea what to do. No one helped me.
No.
The teacher didn't help me. None of the other students helped me. I was completely alone.
Yeah.
So I hated that class.
Oh, Steve.
But here's a little more light-hearted story.
Yay.
I was chilling with George.
Yeah.
And you go up to me and you're going,
oh no,
I have to record this thing about movies. And it was about Finding Nemo. And it was going to be a light-hearted conversation about Finding Nemo. I can't remember exactly the whole thing. I'll ask for your perspective in a moment.
I don't remember it.
But yeah, you had to record something, and it was I think this was a topic. You had to record like either an interview or just a conversation about a movie. And you picked Finding Nemo.
Yay.
And you were having you and George were just talking about this, like, oh, how happy. I was standing there in silence, and something just, like, in my brain just went, Finding Nemo is incredibly depressing. There's so much, like, unaliving happening in Finding Nemo. There's obviously the mom, all of his siblings.
And it's true.
The goldfish and the other fish that got unalived by the dentist's daughter. And the one that got eaten by the shark.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I was going through this, and they were looking at me like, dude, that's so dark!
We were just talking about a kid's film.
Yeah, Like, you were trying to make this like a light-hearted comment. I don't remember what your class said about it because you had to present it to the rest of your class. So I don't remember.
To be honest, I don't remember ever presenting the interview.
Oh, did you? So what happened?
So maybe, I don't know. I don't remember.
Did you find a way out?
Maybe I must have been like, that's too dark, I can't add that.
You must have found like someone else to interview.
It was going so well.
Oh dear.
I was having a lovely, wholesome conversation, and then you had to bring up how dark and how morbid, pardon me, it really is. College was interesting because we had Yu-Gi-Oh as well, and Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts. So my Friday consisted of one lesson and 2 tests.
Yep.
And then I could have gone home.
Yeah.
So I don't know like where we were in our friendship level, but we decided instead of going home, I played Kingdom Hearts with this guy for about an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe was it an hour and a half or?
It was an hour and 15 minutes, maybe something like that.
Yeah, and sometimes toxic goldfish would join us. I think it was once or twice at Lucy.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
When she had nothing better to do.
Yeah.
I think this is before she had a boyfriend, but when she had a boyfriend, she kind of ditched us.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. No one wants to sit around for an hour and 15 minutes with 2 people playing Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts is awesome.
The Leech Grave, man. The Leech Grave.
The
was
Leech
brutal.
Grave.
Do you remember the story of how we got our seats in tutor?
No, but I remember we were both in tutor.
Yeah,
together.
both in tutor. I sat in the corner by the window, the greatest seat. I'm surprised no one took it.
He did an anime move.
You sat like you know what is next to me, which I thought like that one that's quite hurtful. 2, what the heck? You sat like diagonally from me for some reason, and I was explaining how this was the greatest seat ever. You can look out the window, you can daydream. It is fantastic. Hot summer's day, you can open the window.
Yeah.
And you would not move. So I compromised. I said, "How about this? I sit next to you, 1, 2 session. In exchange, you have to sit next to me, the next one."
Oh, okay. That seems like a very mature move of you.
It has turned out to I sat next to you for like 2 or 3 sessions. And before I managed to persuade you, like, oh, I'm gonna go reminiscing. I miss my corner seat, and you give up. You were fine. I relent. And then just like, you know what? You're right. This is a pretty good seat.
Steve was living an anime life.
So I actually took it. I think fake Steve took my seat for a while.
Aww.
Oh, fake Steve, come on!
What did this fake Steve look like?
I think roughly he was between our heights, so I'm pretty sure he was close to your height. Buzz cut.
Okay.
I think he would have had blonde hair, but he had it like either buzz cut or like really cut short.
Yeah. Wait, was that the guy who you hung around with? Or was that John?
John has the opposite. He had long
blonde hair.
Yeah,
with glasses.
Glasses, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We didn't hang around with fake Steve.
No, I don't really remember him.
I only vaguely remember fake Steve. He was the kind of guy who would wear like hoodies and very like casual baggy trousers.
Okay. Do you remember Mike?
I remember Mike. I knew him from secondary school.
Yeah, Mike was cool. I liked Mike.
This has gone from like an introduction episode to us 2 guys reminiscing.
So yeah, welcome to the Humble Potato Podcast.
That was a very weird introduction to ourselves. So, how are we doing questions? How are we?
I guess. Oh, the questions.
The questions, yeah.
That is a good question.
We can tell we're professionals. This should have all been planned in advance.
Hey, no, we are. We're still getting used to
This is episode 1. This is the episode you look back and
cringe.
cringe. Yeah, we're making it as cringy as possible so everybody get out of our systems.
Yeah. I think we'll come to that when we get there.
Okay, so when are we gonna get there?
When we get there. It's episode 1 and it's 12 o'clock, okay?
Oh,
We've been talking for 40 minutes, which I think is pretty good.
I think that's almost a length of a podcast.
It is, I think, yeah.
Maybe we wrap up with the questions then.
Yes.
Alright, so obviously I thought this was only like 20 minutes long, and then it goes to 40 minutes long. We can talk for like over an hour easily.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know the length we're going to go for. I think we're just going to wing it from episode to episode.
One day we'll get to 3 hours, 33 minutes, 33 seconds. One day.
One day. That will be the 100th episode. Or the 33 episode special.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Then we'd have 3 across the board. Anyway, so, should we just jump into it? Or do you want me to...
Oh, let's just jump into it.
We're running a long time. So, Sensei.
Yes, comrade.
You are
Sensei.
an author, but you're Sensei.
I'm not an author.
You're a writer, a professional writer, in my eyes.
Thank you. Oh.
And, should have been really mentioned in the introductory part of this, but both of us like writing.
Yeah.
Victor is the professional out of the two of us. He can write essays on blades of grass, and it would be interesting. So, after this tangent,
yes.
How is your writing going?
My writing goes well. I've done a couple more lines, to be honest. No, actually, no, that's a lie. I did some lines today, but I started a new scene yesterday, and I got. I walked. Okay, so what I didn't tell your sister when she asked me if I got home safely was I told her that the train was all cancelled, and I told her that the bus was 2 hours late by 2 hours. The next bus was 2 hours, so from Eastleigh I walked home. It was long. Not gonna lie, I had my trusty Haribos with me, but I did a lot of writing, and yeah, so I did some writing, and I got 1,400 words done. Steve is clapping, if you can't see, or here. But yeah, so I did that. Yeah.
Can to elaborate? What story were you writing?
I was writing the Race to the Moon.
Well, how much do you want the listeners to know about this? Like, how many spoilers are we giving here?
Not much, because I'm embarrassed. I'm shy.
Do you want to do the synopsis?
No, because someone might steal my genius.
Fair enough. The brief concept is, people trying to get to the moon first.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is like a fantasy thing.
Exact. Yes.
I don't want people to mistakenly think, this is like one of those like historical like drama ones.
It is not it is the furthest away from historical
it's
that
not historically accurate.
You could possibly get. But yeah.
I also say something, but I don't want to go spoilers. But I think I said too much. Anyway, let's move on.
It's okay.
So I know you've been itching for this next question.
I have.
You've been really wanting to just get this off your chest. So I'm just gonna, without further ado, I'm just gonna go out and say it. Do you have any rants for me?
Yes, Deadpool and Wolverine is not as good as I would have liked it to be.
Care to elaborate?
A lot of it feels like fan service. There's a lot of cameos and a lot of references, but there's not a lot of story. Well, there is, but again, it's kind of like it's kind of like, oh, your typical kind of Marvel-y save the day, one-dimensional, uh, one-dimensional villain, blah blah blah. More cameos, more fan service, and that's about it, really. There were some fun moments, but yeah.
So it was quite a letdown.
Yeah, it was £7.99 wasted.
And 2 hours of your life.
And 2 hours of my life, yeah. But I like the first Deadpool movie. The second Deadpool movie is forgettable. This one's just eh.
It seems like the typical Marvel progression movies.
Yeah, yeah. First one's really good, and although saying that, I like Iron Man too.
I do like Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Iron Man 1 and 2. I think Iron Man, the first Iron Man, is probably my favourite Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just love that movie so much.
Yeah.
Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy, I prefer the first one.
Yeah.
Second one's okay.
Mm.
It's going to be it should be a really good movie, but I don't know. I love the characters. I like the story. The story, I think, is a bit eh.
Yeah.
I don't know. It should have been a good movie.
Should have been. Wait, for Guardians?
Guardians 2.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people love Guardians 2.
Mm.
I'm not one of them.
I remember we saw it in cinema.
Yeah.
And we both left and we were like, eh.
Yeah. I really wanted to enjoy that movie. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Anyway. Do you want to say any more about that? Or do you...
No, I think people will just... I mean, I can see why people will enjoy it, but for me, it's kind of like your typical Wolverine feels... Is that, where that gruff hero feels guilty for doing a thing or not doing the thing and everyone else has to pay for it. And so he drinks his sorrows away and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, okay.
The whole, what you were telling me earlier about the whole anchor point of Old Man Wolverine, what did you feel about that?
It doesn't really make any sense why there's this one main character who is like holding the entire universe together. But I don't want to... Oh, wait. Spoiler alert. Oh, boy. We've been at it for about 47 minutes, so...
Brain not
functioning, but there's a lot of stuff. I will just add it in the description. Plus, spoilery-ish review of Deadpool. But, yeah, it doesn't really make any sense, because it's like, well, why is one person suddenly, like, responsible? How does that work? And how does that person then hold the universe together?
It feels like they just got the idea from the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, exactly. Because they even say, like, once that person is dead, the universe begins to die, and he's like, how long will it take? And he's like, a couple of thousand years. It's like, oh.
That sounds like the universe is dying.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing to do with the anchor, right? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Because eventually, because Marvel love killing Wolverine.
They really do.
They have a sick fascination with that.
Yeah. It's true.
Should we move on to the next question now?
Yeah.
So, you've already answered this question, but do you have any doubts?
Do I have any what?
Do you have any praises for me?
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Steve was poorly a couple of weeks ago, and I wasn't able to see him, and it made me cry. Hard tears every time. Like and subscribe. And to show us sympathy. And yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to see him, and then I asked him, "Are you available to be seen?" He was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Cool." Um, and then I saw him, and then I saw him again today, and I was happy.
So you've already answered this question, but do you have any jokes for me?
I do. Have we already said that though?
Yeah,
On
you
the
mentioned the derps already.
yeah, I
So
mentioned that.
this is also a derp.
Yeah,
You
I
think
can't
it.
remember. My memories. I'm not like it used to be.
40 minutes is a long time ago, I know.
Very long time. But yeah.
Alright. I don't know if you want to see the last question recorded, or we can ask that later.
Oh, we can ask that later.
We'll ask that later.
Yeah.
So do you have any questions for me?
I do. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Great. That's the only question I wanted to ask.
Okay, so can we wrap up now?
Oh, comrade.
Yeah.
How's your writing going?
Okay, so I've done like a little writing. So in context, when Victor said a little writing, that's like at least 300 words.
Pages.
Pages, yeah. For me, it's probably like 2 words.
Yeah.
I just like the smallest of paragraphs. Like a little bit of writing. It's a smidge of writing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing to the right hand about, but yeah, it's just a bit of writing.
Better than none.
Yeah, any progress is better than no progress.
So, comrade.
Yes.
Is that all?
Yeah.
So, comrade.
Yes.
Have you got any, or is there any desire to rant to me about anything?
Probably, but I already forgot. 40 minutes is a long time. We should have the question sooner.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's actually been 51 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
A comrade, a senpai.
Yes.
Do you have any praises for me?
You're really like blitzing through these questions. Like, we can't go over an hour.
Gotta wrap it up.
Gotta wrap it up. I just, yeah, it's really good to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay, I'll save this part for the next question, but yeah.
We say that a lot, though. We say it's good to see you a lot.
It is good to see you. It's great to see you.
It is. It's nice to see you.
And to hear you.
And to feel.
No, it's not just silence. It's just
Yeah.
seeing and talking to each other. It's pretty good.
It feels good to be back. I'd like to do this weekly again.
Sweet buddy.
So comrade.
Yes.
Do you have any words for me that you've made up or thought of?
Okay. No.
Fair enough. Just to let you all know that this guy came up with the word favoritism.
Oh yeah, greatest word of all time.
And there was another word that doesn't come to mind. But yeah, I can't remember what it is.
Farious.
Oh yeah, Farius. But yeah, comrade.
Yes.
Have you had any derps for me?
Yeah, we've done one right in this podcast. We haven't explained that we did actually have a YouTube channel. I don't know where we're uploading this yet. If we're uploading it to our previously one or creating a new one. All of that content is no commentary. So this is actually voice reveal, and it's almost an hour long.
That is true, actually.
There's a huge shift in dynamic from only doing visual, because we never put music or anything in the background. Sorry about that. To now doing purely audio, which is a very big shift, and we probably should have explained that at the beginning of this.
We live and we learn.
I don't think anyone's going to listen to this part. They'll probably listen to the first 2 minutes and switch off.
You don't know that.
This is like the most rambliest thing ever, but I love it. We all never plan, right?
Yeah.
This is like how every podcast will be. We should have planned, but we didn't. So, is that a derp, or is that just us being us?
That's just us being us, I think. And that's okay.
That's okay. Do you have any words for me?
No.
For extra context, normally these questions aren't this fast. It's normally we'll ask a question and then it's like at least 5 minutes of conversation.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for episode 2.
We will,
But
which
we'll
will come out at some point.
We didn't even know we're uploading this, if we can even upload it.
We'll find a way.
We'll find a way.
But yeah, okay.
Should we? Are we shooting for an hour, or we're gonna try to go under an hour?
Let's. It feels like now is a natural time to wrap things up, I guess.
We won't go for a set time. We'll just whenever it feels natural, we'll just end it.
Episode 2 will be 2 minutes. Hi, how are you? I'm good. How are you? I'm good.
Yeah. We don't use good here. We use meh.
We use meh.
Which is like an all-encompassing term. If we're feeling okay, if we're feeling good, if we're feeling bad, it's just always meh. Or
exactly.
if it's feeling bad, it's very meh.
It's very meh. Yeah, and that's when we get concerned.
That's when if someone says okay, then we know it's a real problem.
Hold on a minute. What you do mean? Oh, okay. All right. Well. I guess this is it then.
This has been the Humble Potato Podcast, the most unhumble podcast that has nothing to do with potatoes.
I have been your host, Victor. Yes.